Alright, motherfuckers, it is time for your Raw review. In this show, I had a lot of fucking problems with. Not the worst episode of Raw, but tons and tons of fucking problems. There was stuff I liked and a lot of things that I also fucking hated the shit out of. We started off with Seth Rollins, a long-winded promo. This felt like it was going 15, 20 minutes. Rollins talking about how he's the best and he's beating everybody and yada, yada, yada. It went on way too long. Rollins is a good talker, but when they put him out there and they don't give him a lot to work with, there's not a lot going on. It's not like when Stone Cold and The Rock had promos. They had a lot to talk about back in the Attitude Era and, whatever. He needs material. They can't just throw him out there and say, okay, talk for 20 minutes and, there's nothing exciting going on. There's nothing really to talk about, so, and he's just going to reiterate constantly week after week. It's the same fucking bullshit. There isn't any fucking difference. From promo to promo, Seth Rollins has got the same fucking thing going on. So Dean Ambrose comes out. He chases Rollins from the ring. And Dean Ambrose sits in the middle of the ring, waiting, for Rollins to come back out. Sheamus comes back out. They have a match. This was a pretty long match. It wasn't really all that exciting. It wasn't a terrible match, but, Sheamus was in control for most of it. Sheamus tried to leave, but Orton throws him back in, and Ambrose gets the win. It was nice to see Ambrose beating Sheamus. Once again, it was a little bit weird that Sheamus just won the briefcase, and now he's already losing. I don't understand where the booking goes here. There's no momentum for any fucking wrestler on the roster. It's like, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, 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 win, win, win. There's no pattern or anything. They don't choose, who's going to be the guy to string together some wins. And Kane said this backstage to Seth Rollins. To be truly great, you need to have win after win after win. And, that's exactly true. In order for someone to be the best, they can't look weak. They need to win a lot. That's just how it has to be. Back in the day, like with The Undertaker and Stone Cold, in order for them to lose a match, it would need to be a grueling, great match, or, they would need to get screwed over majorly, and not little fucking, pussy screw jobs, like rolling a guy up from behind. No, it would have had to been like they put him in a handicap match or some shit where, the odds were stacked against him. Now guys just lose like that. A guy throws him back in the ring, all goofy like that. It was one of those comedic things. Orton grabs Sheamus from behind and runs him all the way to the ring from basically the entrance ramp. It's like, not to knock wrestling, because that spot happens quite frequently, but a guy like Sheamus, is Orton going to grab Sheamus like he's a little kid and just fucking run him all the way to the ring? Come on. Sheamus is obviously going to be champ again one day, and this is how they're treating him already. A lot of people are already criticizing this. You think WWE would, take steps to try to get people to respect Sheamus again? Not to say that people always respected Sheamus prior to the new look and everything, but, people, I think, liked him more. They liked him better than how he looks now, and, people want a little bit of change in Sheamus, and you can't blame them. I mean, if this guy's going to be our future champion, he can't be, losing every fucking 2 minutes to every 2-bit jobber on the roster. And that's not a knock to Ambrose, but, come on. There was no reason for Sheamus to lose here so quickly. Then you had RTruth defeating King Barrett in like 2 seconds. He comes to the ring with a fucking paper crown and a fucking bath towel on him. And holy fucking shit. This is not even funny. You know what's not funny about this? I used to do this shit literally when I was fucking 3 years old. Which one of you motherfuckers, or maybe not you motherfuckers, from past, from maybe future generations, but people from my time, motherfuckers, I used to put towels around my neck and pretend I was Superman. I used to do this shit all the fucking time, and really, what kid hasn't done it? A fully grown fucking man. RTruth, what is he, in his fucking mid to late 30s or some shit like that? Putting a bath towel around his neck. Are you fucking serious? I know, oh, Brad, have a sense of humor. Oh, what? You shut the fuck up already. That's what I got to say to you. I don't fucking care about sense of humor. It's so funny. It's so funny to see a fucking guy make a fucking fool out of himself on TV. It's not funny. It's fucking sad. It's sad, not funny. You understand the difference? Okay, sometimes it's okay to laugh at others' misfortunes. We all do it all the time, motherfuckers. But the thing is, when it's that dumb, that retarded, and that fucking stupid, we're not gonna fucking laugh at it. We should be fucking face palming is what we should be doing. That's what we should fucking be doing. You know why we still get shit like this? Because you're laughing at it. Because you're praising it. Because you're saying, that segment was funny. No, it wasn't. And fucking poor Barrett is all I can say. Poor fucking Barrett. All this guy has done is try to do well in this fucking promotion, in this fucking company. All he's done is put in hard work. They give him a gimmick, bad news Barrett. The guy tries fucking hard to get it over. He gets that shit over like that. He does hilarious fucking promo speeches. The character was pure fucking gold. It was fucking gold. It really was. What do? Let's take it away from him. What a fucking brilliant idea, taking away a fucking golden gimmick like that. Barrett was cutting some of the best promos I've heard in years. And what do? They just take the gimmick off of him just like that. Because you're not allowed to have any type of character here in the WWE. No, you gotta be a boring, stone-faced motherfucker, obviously. And that's exactly what they've done to Barrett. They've made him into a king. And this king doesn't even have any personality. Fucking King Barrett. And he's wearing the same thing that King Booker wore 10 years ago. What the fuck is this fucking bullshit? He already had a good gimmick. He found himself, so to speak. And fucking Barrett is now fucking jobbing out to RTruth. And what is their obsession with RTruth? They just one day realize, oh, RTruth's on the roster. Let's have him do stuff and have random victories. What are they doing with RTruth? You're making a fucking fool out of him. They're making him into an idiot. The guy was a fucking badass like 4 years ago when he was teaming with Miz and the Awesome Truth. The guys were like interfering in Hell in a Cell matches. They were beating the shit out of Triple H and CM Punk. It was a good fucking time for RTruth, but those good times have passed, obviously. Then you had Owens, fucking Kevin Owens defeating Ziggler in a fucking great match. Now, never should Owens go back to NXT full time. They gotta keep him in WWE. Don't fuck this up. I swear to fucking God. Owens is giving us the best consistent string of matches I've ever fucking seen from just about anybody over the course of the history of this company. I mean, seriously, fucking Kevin Owens is he's delivering. He's delivering in every single fucking match he wrestles. And both Ziggler and Owens were going at it fucking tooth and nail. An excellent back and forth match. I want to see these guys wrestle again. I want to see Owens wrestle a whole bunch of other guys. This guy could probably even get a good match out of the Big Show. Let's not go that far, but you know what I'm saying? The guy could get a good match out of a fucking ball of lint, basically. This was a great match, an excellent match, and, you know, kind of a real template for how, you know, matches should be wrestled nowadays. It's 2015. We shouldn't have to settle for subpar, boring, dumb, boring-ass matches. Then backstage, Paige gives a inspirational speech that everybody walks away from. And I didn't get this. She's up on her, you know, so-called soapbox, trying to talk to everybody. We have to rally against the Bellas. The Bellas come in and they barely say anything, and everybody just walks away. You know, I was a bit distracted during this match. Naomi's ass was looking fucking amazing, so I really didn't hear what the Bellas said. I was too busy looking at that scrumptious ass of Naomi's. But yeah, I don't get what the fuck was going on here. Paige, you know, it's all about change, guys. Change. Change what? It's still the same boring fucking division. Whether Paige wins the belt, Nikki wins the belt, fucking somebody runs in there, you know, fucking Bruce Jenner wins the belt. I don't fucking know. There's your pop culture reference for the day. You know, it doesn't matter. The division's still gonna suck ass. And why are the Bellas so feared? Look at them. Is there anything fucking scary about the fucking Bellas? I mean, I think that they should be more scared of Naomi, if anything. If Naomi ever sat on anybody, she'd fucking crush them. Fucking suffocate their fucking ass. Because of her ass. Anyway, you know, I don't really see why the Bellas are so feared. You know, they're not fucking scary at all. In fact, they're fucking pathetic, and Nikki Bella is going to hold on to that belt for like a fucking year or something. I don't understand why they're holding, you know, the belt so dearly to her. I feel like they're trying to make her like a fucking unbeatable champion. You know, she's becoming like her boyfriend Cena. No one can beat her. She's unbeatable. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're going for. Maybe Cena wants her to, you know, be like a fucking inspirational champ, a fucking unbeatable champ, because, you know, that's what they're going for there. But I'm not like looking at my TV saying, man, Nikki Bella, what a fucking champion she is. I'm sitting there saying how fucking bored I am. Getting fucking just bored. It's like I just want to see the belt switch hands or something different. Even though it won't improve the division, it would still, you know, something would happen at least. Then you had Kane defeating Orton. And this left me scratching my head. Orton fucking lost on TV, a rare occurrence, to Kane of all people. Yes, Kane switched the match to no holds barred, you know, right at the end, allowing Sheamus to come in, hit the bro kick, and Kane pinned Orton. The thing right here, what I don't fucking get, is they just have Kane beat Orton like that in like under 5 minutes. What a fucking joke. Like, this is what I said. It's almost like Orton doesn't even exist in this company anymore. Orton versus where he was about a year ago, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Orton where he was prior to Mania. At least, you know, they were fucking spotlighting him. At least he felt like he meant something. It really feels like they're fucking desperate. They don't know what to do with Orton. And, you know, having him lose here is definitely not the solution to that problem. Hey, guys, what are we doing, Orton? Have him lose. What a great fucking idea. Then you had The Miz defeating the Big Show by count out. He was distracted by Ryback, allowing Miz to get the win. Am I the only one that feels like The Miz is just fucking cheap as hell on the fucking roster nowadays. As I said in my Money in the Bank review, The Miz at one time was quite awesome. If he wasn't awesome, he was at least good or decent. Now, I can't fucking stand his fucking ass. He's on the roster doing absolutely fucking nothing. All those Intercontinental title runs he had meant jack fucking shit. Nobody respects the man. They've beaten his character so far into the ground. There is no way of resuscitating him. Fucking seriously. I mean, just look at him. You know, he has nothing to really show for all these fucking years, you know, right after his title run. After his title run, he has just been fucking nothing. They have not done fucking shit with The Miz ever since RTruth and the title run. That has been it for The Miz. 2011 was a good year for The Miz. Everything after that has been total fucking shit. Then you had Roman Reigns coming out. What inspirational promo. I want to fight now. And Bray Wyatt gets on the Titantron once again. Once again, a Bray Wyatt rant has to be made. Why does he never appear in person? Every single time with Bray Wyatt, he's got to be up on the Titantron. Never comes to the ring. Never you know, is it so much to ask that he wrestle on Raw? Is it so much to fucking ask that he actually appear? You know, you'd be surprised how much that could do for a promo when it's actually, you know, where they're physically there with another wrestler in the ring, as opposed to being on the Titantron. And here's the fucking thing. And this really speaks volumes about what Stone Cold said in his podcast. Bray Wyatt is cutting all this fucking bullshit mumbo jumbo and and I am getting fucking sick and tired. At first I liked it, but now it's going on too much with the poetic bullshit and the fucking nursery rhymes and shit. Cut a normal fucking promo already, because I'm getting fucking sick of this. He's just on the Titantron droning on and on about fucking random fucking bullshit. Half of it doesn't even make any fucking sense. I'm sure if you sat there like a fucking idiot and analyzed every fucking thing he said, it would make sense eventually. No, but this is professional wrestling. I'm not here for complex fucking, you know, inspirational cosmic talk. I'm here to talk about guys kicking each other's asses and saying it in cool ways. You know, enough with, oh, let's be poetic and shit. Fuck that bullshit. I want to hear a good fucking promo. Stone Cold didn't have to get into philosophy and, ooh, you know, you had a Freudian dream and that means that you're a fucking hermaphrodite or some shit like that. I don't know. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know what the fuck Bray Wyatt's saying, and don't lie and say that you do. Sitting there for 10 hours trying to analyze what he fucking said, and all they're going to do is have a shitty fucking match at Battleground. That's all that's going to come of it. And we got to sit there. But this is what I was going to say about what Stone Cold said in the podcast before I got sidetracked and started talking about people that have male and female reproductive parts. Stone Cold said that nowadays, when people cut promos, you have one guy talking on the mic and the other guy standing there like, you know, and that's exactly how Roman Reigns was. Oh, I'm a Samoan badass. Oh, yeah, sure you are. Bray Wyatt's there, kind of mumbo jumbo. How about Roman Reigns gets on the mic and says, Bray, enough fucking mumbo jumbo bullshit. It's time to fucking fight. Get your fat ass off the fucking Titantron. Get in the ring. Let's fight, motherfucker. Alright, well, you won't say it mostly like that, but something to that effect. One of the wrestlers has to step in and just, you know, it would be awesome if they tell Bray Wyatt to shut up, stop lurking in the shadows like some fucking pedo, and get the fuck in the ring already and wrestle! Fucking wrestle! Enough with this Brock Lesnar bullshit where he wrestles, you know, once every other month. Fuck that shit. Get him in the ring. Have him wrestle. Have him in a tag match with Roman Reigns or some fucking shit like that. I don't give a fuck. Just get him in the fucking ring. Whether he's talking or he's wrestling. Get him in the fucking ring. Get him off the Titantron. Fuck that fucking bullshit already. No, it's ridiculous. He's just standing there watching Bray Wyatt cut this ridiculous promo and saying absolutely nothing and not even retorting after the promo ends. It's just like Roman Reigns is basically paid a ticket to see a fucking movie. It's like he's sitting there watching Jurassic World or some shit. Wow, big screen. Whoa! You know, fuck. Then it was, the Bellas versus Paige in a handicap match. Paige said during the speech she booked her. Yeah, I know. I actually managed to get my attention off Naomi's fucking plump, voluptuous ass, but for one fucking minute, so I could hear what Paige was saying. And Paige said she booked herself in a handicap match because she's crazy. Woo! Well, she was really fucking crazy because she lost. What a fucking surprise. What a stupid ass match this was. So you book yourself in a handicap match just so you could fucking lose? What a fucking great concept. What a great fucking idea, Paige. Book yourself in a handicap match where you're outnumbered so you can just lose. Whoa, that's so inspirational. I don't know how to fucking respond to this. You know, I'm so inspired. Believe, hope, change. Yeah, all right, okay. You know, I mean, like, how pathetic is this division? She has a speech backstage. No one's inspired. No one gives a fuck about their careers. Like, I guess what she was trying to say during that speech was, you know, all this thing like push the divas, hashtag push the divas. You know, if they rise up against the Bellas, somebody else could be champ or something. You know, I don't fucking know. But this was ridiculous. Just, you know, like, what is, like, it's enough with the way how it ended last night at Money in the Bank with the Bellas and Paige. But putting in her in a handicap match just makes Paige look like a fucking idiot, basically. It makes her look like a fucking retard. Who would book themselves in a handicap match? No one's done that. Not even Stone Cold, as tough as he was, booked himself in a handicap match to try to prove a point, if there even was a point to prove. Then you had fucking MGK perform, Machine Gun Kelly. You know, everybody knows my taste in music here, so whatever I say here is kind of biased, but, you know, like, who listens to Machine Gun Kelly? I never heard anybody talk about them outside of WWE. Now, I see on Instagram they've got 1.3 million followers, so I guess that means something. People do listen to them. But it's like, we hadn't seen them since WrestleMania 28. They come back. I don't know who the fuck they are. You know, it's some fucking guy and some whore. I don't fucking know. I don't care. This music sucked. But at the end, because Machine Gun Kelly, if that is his name is Kelly. I don't know. Or she Kelly. Is he Kelly or she Kelly? Am I Kelly? I don't know who's Kelly. But anyway, and who's the machine? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, but fucking Kevin Owens comes out because MGK is friends with Cena. He dedicated this performance to Cena, his fucking boyfriend Cena. Owens power bombs him off the stage. Fucking awesome. That is exactly shit that I want to see. Shocking TV like that. That was a good moment. It's just a shame you have to get through tons of other fucking shit to get to awesome shit like this. Why can't we see more of this? Use this as a template. That's awesome. You're going to have a performance like that. Whatever, fine. Machine Gun Kelly. The shitty as it sounded to me, people were cheering them, I guess. Somebody was cheering them, but Owens coming out and power bombing him was fucking awesome. I don't know if, like, is Cena gonna act super raged out because he power bombed some, fucking singer? I don't know. But anyway, I guess it adds to the feud. And, whatever. It was awesome just to see him powerbomb somebody off a fucking stage. And it was hilarious, because even more because I didn't like the music and it's a non-wrestler. So we haven't seen something done to a non-wrestler in a while. And that was pretty fucking awesome. Then you had Neville and the Primetime Players defeating New Day. I actually enjoyed this match. A nice, fast-paced match. A lot of back and forth action. A nice, like, 6-man tag here. Then you had the big-time announcement. Who is Seth Rollins going to have to face, I think, at Battleground? And it was pretty obvious. I thought they were going to wait. I mean, are they talking about Battleground? They said his next opponent. Is it Battleground or at SummerSlam? But Brock Lesnar came out. I was a bit disappointed that he wasn't raging against Rollins. They lifted the suspension. Last time he was there, he was F5ing everybody. He was huffing and puffing. You would think that Brock would have picked up right where he left off and just come in there and destroy Rollins. But instead, they just had Rollins backing down from him. It was cool to see Lesnar again, but it would have made more sense to have Brock come back and be fucking fuming. Because last time Rollins lied to him and said he was going to get a rematch. He ran away. Then Brock just beat everybody up and got suspended. So you would think that he'd be a bit angrier, but he wasn't. The stare down was kind of cool. It got me excited for the match. I do want to see this match, but I think it would have been better. It's not like Seth Rollins is like so well protected that they don't want to beat him up to make him look weak. The guy lost to J&J Security, for God's sakes. So Brock Lesnar beating him up wouldn't have really mattered much. It would have been a lot better, but it wouldn't have really affected his character that much. So, that was a little bit disappointing. Overall, I didn't really like this show. Owens and Ziggler was a great fucking match. Owens power bombing MGK off the stage was also awesome. That 6-man tag was pretty cool. And Brock Lesnar coming out at the end, that was pretty cool too. Everything else was fucking garbage pretty much. So, just a passable Raw. There was way too much fucking bullshit. Way too much shit that pissed me off to give it a super high rating. But for the most part, it was a fairly enjoyable episode with some cool moments. And Kevin Owens, just center the whole company around him. If we can't have Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens is a badass. And here's the thing I will say about Kevin Owens, what he has over Daniel Bryan. He's more tough. He looks tougher, and he's got more toughness. I'm not saying he's a better wrestler than Bryan or I like him better than Bryan, but he is a bit tougher. And, just a couple of pegs tougher than Bryan. So there you go. Kevin Owens is pretty much the centerpiece of the WWE for me. Anyway, here's your fucking Raw review, and fuck off.